Hey, hello South Africa, it's Bongani will bet me in Durban again. I want to respond to the issue of KwaZulu Natal renaming to KwaZulu at the background of Addington Primary School and illegal immigration issues. As I begin, let me say the IFP is very arrogant. You guys have got no respect for for Zulus. Actually, anwabona amaZulu altogether. I don't know. Angazi mhlaba ile nkinga esibonayo these days because people who come or who grew up in rural areas, when they come to positions even in cities, whether it's in the private sector or in government and the likes, they're very undermining to other people. All right, we used to detest the character of undermining which was done by our township, Soweto and the likes, and we refused to be identified with Johannesburg people who used to undermine people. But I'm seeing a phenomenon, whether I'm seeing people whom we grew up with in the Free State because I studied in Kwakwa, or whether I'm seeing people who grew up in rural areas of KZN, I'm seeing foul, arrogant, pompous characters. Like you are not respecting humanity at all. You are disrespecting rural people who have not attained your level of success. Like you feel like big invincible things. I don't know what the appropriate word is, but jealous Delela Baholi IFP, you have got no respect for Zulus at all. Now let's go back to this issue of KZN renaming. Webantu, we know what Mrs. Zulu spoke up or said lapha enquthu esandrwana ukuthi bekubhalwe inkatha. We know that. All right. I think, okay, for South Africans who don't know, I used to be IFP until the year 2004, and then I was a sympathizer of the IFP up to 2011, left, became sympathizer to a lesser degree, still voted, and trust me, I still gave them one vote of the 3 votes I had in the year 2024, and I detest that deed I did there. I shouldn't have given them my vote at all. So I don't understand this level of arrogance. Like, you know, we're talking about young men, these owners of the IFP, disrespecting adults and then demanding to be honored as umhlonishwa. These people are very arrogant. They've got no respect for kings of the Zulu. They've got no respect for the monarchy. They've got no respect for any Zulu person. They only worship other nations and white people and Indian people. And in other nations, they really worship the Venda people. They have never fought for the Zulu nation on a single matter for many years, not even one. But they use Zululand or Upper KZN votes for their own purposes because the IFP is owned by them. There's no political organization, guys, which does not hold conferences. That's not a political organization. It will never be. So that's a corporation owned by those permanent members who sit in their national council. Here, let's go back to this GNU nonsense. It's not GNU in any case. It's a coalition of like-minded Zulu haters and Black SA haters and self-haters, or also plus the envious nations against the others. Now, having defined that, let's go back to this GNU of theirs, in Toga Helen Zil. If you know politics, you know what the DA hates the Zulu nation hates Zulu traditional systems every time. You can go back to history, and this you can see of Liberals International. All right. So when you see a people who purport to have the monarchy or Zulu kingdom's interest at heart joining with the enemies of the Zulu people from day one, you know with Lapo you have got pieces of trash that belong in the dustbin. When they were negotiating after that fraudulent election, where the DA suddenly grew, although they lost members to the PA, Action SA, to Musimaimane, to other organizations, but somehow they grew. All right. Now this DA of theirs, which hates us, all right, they negotiated and get positions with them. Did you see Inkatha negotiating positions which empower the Zulu nation? Nope. Imagine you are at a very strong bargaining position. The DA desperately needs you. The owners of the actual owners of South Africa, it's whites, the colonialist whites, not even the Freedom Front Plus, but the DA whites. Those are European colonialists. Now you are at a bargaining stage where they desperately need you in order to be this fraudulent government that is running our country. And you can't fight to ensure that Ulundi is the capital city. It's that the IFP fights to get positions which are not even strategic for their owners. That's all they fought for, positions. Because the IFP has only fought for one thing. When I was in there, the politics of the IFP changed, moved away from policy and all the wisdom that we found in the IFP when we joined them, which was basically the wisdom of the IFP of the 70s, 80s, who were purged out of the IFP for these who are running the IFP to actually be in power. There's a lot of election fraud that happened within the IFP for those people to own the IFP. But Buthelezi himself has got a hand in what happened. All right. So now, how are you in a position of bargaining power and you don't fight for Ulundi and you fight for positions of your big-bellied Zululand men who think they own Zulus? And then you come and tell us you are supporting Isilo in the renaming of KZN to KwaZulu. Abafithu nisijwayela kabi, no. Yabona, you have got no respect for our kings, you have got no respect for the monarchy that you are using as your puppet. So therefore, nami ke saying angikusho nadelela nisijwayela kabi. Anisiboni angazi like ngathi nisithatha njengalabantu enibachwensayo mhlawumbe eZululand mhlawumbe nabo makhelwane eningabababoni ukuthi bayini. You have got no respect for the Zulu people at all. You bargain for your positions and then you think you're going to divert attention by renaming. Zulus are starving up to 70% and you are fighting to protect white capital and have destroyed Delango Gubona as your first priority. You are shooting Zulu criminals left, right and center. There is no courts in KZN. I'm a criminal, no single police shot. So like assassination basically. Mind you, we know how Zulu people became criminals because of starvation. 70% starvation. And your priority is whites and Indians and their their buildings. July 2021. ukuvikela amabhilidi abelungu amaZulu elambile indlala. Sanibona now 2014 novikela amandiya eDenver than protect the Zulus who are being segregated from jobs, blocked, starved, 80% starvation in hostels because of you. Nkata, it's because of you. The starvation of Zulus in Johannesburg hostels is because of you, Nkata. And then you're gonna come in the year 2026 and be fighting in the year 2026 for the renaming that was supposed to be done in 1994. This is the year 2026. What have you been doing for 30 years? And then what did you do? GNU. Nilwele idudla amafehlefehle zenu ukuthi zibe nama-position angithi than to fight for people of Ulundi and even people of that Nongoma, which is always divisive to the Zulu nation, always puppeting, always blackmailing. That's where the Zulu kingdom has always been divided there in Nongoma. Because I grew up really having high regard for people of Nongoma, but I have lost it. I've lost it, and I've come to terms with the fact that, by the way, Ushaka Wabumba decision from the Bongani side, not from Nongoma. In Nongoma, kwenze division uzwa ngendaba waphuma lapho umzilikazi waphuma lapho uSoshangana waphuma lapho. It's a very divisive area. Ngathi nesiqalekiso leyo ndawo sokuzonda amazulu nokwa-divider. Hayi. So we're trying to build the Zulu nation. Niphuma ngapha eceleni naphaya nina nolola abelungu bediye abahlala eCape Town for that matter naseSandton, who engineered rand manipulation. How many have you quantified how Zulus got destroyed by rand manipulation, which was done by your white people who don't get shot to death for looting the country? Now, my brother, yes, you're not my brothers. We baholi benkatha sibayeka abantu benu because bona bambele ukuthi inkatha is always right. That's a cult. It's a cult. It's a cult. Inkatha is always right. There's nothing I can do about people like that. It's only Jesus Christ who's always right. Inkatha ayinamanga. Anyway, inkatha is always right. Isibindi esingayani indoda edala sekubhizi aba. Inkatha is always right. Inkatha ngize ngithutha. Inkatha is always right. Amadoda emizi lawo enesibindi. Anyway, nilwele igaba le-KZN, nilwele igaba ka-KZN ngo-2026 isilambile. Ngoba you are diverting attention from illegal immigration that you are completely silent about. Uthi awahamba ama-illegal immigrant usho kuphe TV la on the streets akuma illegal immigrant ukufa. Baze basondela kuye lapha eBeachfront bezothi hi ama-illegal immigrant. Ngithi bona phela bayabaza abangani babo idomate. Also edoma inkatha is always right, because reality is on the streets of Durban. There's no Tamintuli and GPU that is cleaning these streets. Ngizozama ukufaka ivideo, ngicela ibuye le video ngizoyifaka after la ngibone imigwaqo ya ku Grey Street complex ye GPU. So you are fighting for names, you didn't fight for Ulundi. You are diverting attention from your wickedness. Ujacinta Ngobese yini enimbophayo bosho inkatha. Yini nathi uJacinta Ngobese uyi-MK ngoba kwimashi kaJacinta kugcwele abantu be-MK. Angithi uJacinta wayecele ukuthi nize nonke. Athi nina phela mtshelo abawuthi inkatha is always right. Uyalamba uhlele hostel ulambile. IMKP ngelakho ithi abantu abasemashini ezilakho baba zobathola imisebenzi ngempela babathola imisebenzi uhleli inkatha yami ethengayo lapho That is exactly the reason which caused people of Upper KZN in IFP areas to starve and run to Johannesburg and become criminals and rented assassins in Nkabi, killing their own Zulus for the benefit of Nigerians, white people, Indians, Zimbabweans, Malawians, vendors, Shangans, Pedis, and all those people who are buying you to kill your own Zulus. 55 dead Zulu kings between 2019 and 2023 under the Cyril Ramaphosa government. And they are fighting for what? For this, for KZN. Nisijwayela kabi njenge-ANC. Kunje-ANC, hey, ashintshile amagama emigaqo. Nangu, Pexley, Kaseme, oh, yini? Kunje, la magama now. Okay, but they are honoring our people. But imali, i-ANC ifaka kuma Muslim Indians. Oh, so thina fa sijabulela amagama. Hey, akashintshe igama selupixley. But siyalamba. Banikeza ama-project. They give big projects to Indian and white construction mafias. They destroy a tiny mafia called Dela Ngokubona, which is trying to fight for itself in the midst of the evils. Babla abantu abamnyama akade becomplaina ngedela Ngokubona ukuthi baqhagela ama-project. Baphi bayawathola ngama-project sekungena EGP or bayathola ngigcine beyomasha lapha bethukuthele ukuthi abagogelwa i-GPU. Hey, bantu bakithi. Sometimes some of these wars, guys, ake nibe no calculator. Yabona, ungakhohlwa what the actual enemy is that brought us here. You guys tend to actually focus on your very go wrong obekwenziwa yidela ngokubona kokunye koqhwaga ama-project. But they were not the main agenda. The main agenda has always been the unfairness of contracts on the basis of totally capital from the banks. We don't have the ability. Actually, Futinama supplier, the big retailers, they prioritize whites and Indians over blacks as a sabotage intentionally so that black people never prosper. Bese qhamuka inkatha yasenkandla uthisha uvela ubona ukuthi yazi uNkulunkulu, I'm sorry I was ever IFP, but not really. I was the IFP which came to an end in the year 1999. Anything that came after that was trash that belongs to the dustbin. Thank you.